9th, 2010. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol; my behaviour, equally addictive, work, relationships, collecting, materialism, always trying to fix myself in some way. And it started at a very early age for me. I found alcohol very early in my life, and it didn't mean I was a frequent drinker in my very early years, but that first drink did the damage in terms of changing the way I felt about me and my life. And I guess as a kid I was quite scared, and that first drink took the edge off. Conviviality, definitely. Relaxed, a different set of feelings, or rather access to feelings which were always there, but I didn't know where they were. So what is life these days without a drink inside me? Well, it took 35 years of drinking, a drinking career which went on for far too long, probably, but maybe I just needed convincing, and there was no other way for me to actually get to an understanding that I had become dependent and then an addict. And where did I cross the line? Probably in the last few years of my drinking, where life had got very, very difficult. I'd been working hard, I've been involved in relationships, I'd collected everything that I possibly could, and still felt like there was a gap inside me which I couldn't fix. So what did alcohol do for me? It fixed something for a while and then left an even bigger gap. And I guess that's the same for any substance or any behaviour. If we do it to extremes, then we have to come down from it. And how we come down to an extreme rather than to some sort of balance. So when we become dependent on something, we have to look at our behaviour very, very carefully, because addiction is only a stone's throw away, or in my case, another drink away. So whilst I'm in recovery, one day at a time, I know that it's not safe ever to go back and try some more research, because it will lead to the same place of ruin for me, ruining my emotional, spiritual and physical well-being. So recovery for me is all about emotional, spiritual and physical well-being on a daily basis. A one-day program, one day long for me, and it's the base, if you like, or the backbone of my recovery is understanding how to live my life with less fear, less need to put a brave face on, and less ego, and to find more courage, faith and confidence to face the day. So the only way I can do that is soberly learning to live life, find my feelings, be in the moment of now, and do what I can to keep well physically. So this morning has been a trial, if you like, of getting to the medical centre, having blood tests, making sure all the right ones are done, seeking advice from the doctor about what to do about my foot, which has got some fractures in it, and also making sure that the medications and the other things I need, like insulin and all the paraphernalia of dealing with type 1 diabetes and dealing with clinical depression, all those things are managed professionally by professionals who know what to do to help me, and I need listen to them. I need listen to them when I need help. And what do we all do as addicts? We want to run it all. We want to run the show. We want to prove to ourselves that we can still be in charge. So one of the things I learned very early on in recovery is I'm powerless over people, places and things. And if I take a drink, life will certainly get unmanageable, and it would be insanity to go back. And something, or somehow, I got a moment of clarity which helped me understand that self-will taken to extremes of behaviour is self-will, self-obsession, self-will run riot. So these days, what helps me most at the moment? Family, friends, community keep me on track, living my life as normally as possible, whatever normal is. I only find out by the end of the day what normal has been. And a fellowship, and that fellowship is AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and I share the statement of intent about AA, what it is, for those who don't know, and just as a gentle reminder for myself to slow me down into the moment of now. And then I share some of the literature from this book, Daily Reflections, which is an AA daily one page on recovery. So each day is a recovery page, and each month it covers one of the steps of the 12-step action program, action to change my attitude and behaviour on a daily basis. So attitude and behaviour changing daily. Or I can go back to the old attitude and behaviour and be in the malady again. So I'm in recovery, and the AA preamble reads like this: Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help others to recover to achieve sobriety. So always for me the key in there is a desire to stop drinking. That's the only reason for going to the fellowship, no other reason. It's not allied to anything else. And share the message. And the first two steps, and now the third step in March. Admitting I was powerless over alcohol, people, places and things, and I don't need to go backwards. Knowing it would be insane, and that a power greater than me could save me, led me into step 3, which is where March is in the Daily Reflections book. And I'll read it because it's just very clear on an attitude, an outlook, which helps me on a daily basis. And it mentions God. So the word God is as you understand it, and it's not a collective understanding. So I shall share as I go along. Surrendering self-will. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And for me, God is truth, the truth of all that is around me. God is love, loving people and being loved back. And God works through others, so getting wisdom from other people. It goes on to say, no matter how much one wishes to try, exactly how can one turn our will, how can his own will and his own, start again, no matter how much one wishes to try, exactly how can one turn his own will and his own life over to the care of whatever God he thinks there is? In my search for the answer to this question, I became aware of the wisdom which is written, with which it was written. This is part of step 2. I could see many times where I should have died, that was true for me, or at least been injured, during my previous style of living, and it never happened. Someone or something was looking after me. I choose to believe my life has always been in God's care. He alone controls the number of days I will be granted until physical death. The matter of will, self-will or God's will, is the more difficult part of the step for me. That's step 3. It is only when I have experienced enough emotional pain, through failed attempts to fix myself, that I become willing to surrender to God's will for my life. Surrender is like the calm after the storm. When my will is in line with God's will for me, there is a peace within. And if I understand correctly for me that God is truth, that I'm aligned with the truth of what is going on around me, that love is the most important part of living, and that we learn from others, God works through people, then it all makes sense to me. I don't know if anybody was looking after me whilst I was drinking. Certainly my self-will and self-obsession was blocking me to the truth of my condition, and I was certainly in intensive care far too many times. So for me, as I say at the end of these videos, the most important thing is to get acceptance on a daily basis, and saying the serenity prayer to God, good conscience, or a power higher than us, simply the truth of now, often helps me immensely. So that serenity prayer reads as, or goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is always for me, just for today.